Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Kerry Ramage, managing broker at Remax Elite, and Heather Holiday, your social marketing nut, talking about hottest real estate topics with a little weekly activity and motivation for the week.
Uh-oh.
Good morning and happy Monday.
Okay, I'm like, wait a minute. My sound's going to start acting crazy. Ha!
As if that's anything new.
I know. It's the same thing every week. You'd think I'd know what I was doing by now, but, it is what it is.
It's only been, 3 years.
Right?
I think I give you almost like a minute.
I know. I don't know why it happens, but it just... I don't know. But anyway, here we are, another Monday. A Monday in summertime, which is always just, I don't know, summertime gets all crazy for me because especially with Father's Day yesterday, but, spending family time outside, pool, beach, boat, that when Monday rolls around, it's like, I
hear that. We did work around the house most of the weekend, so we didn't go and play or... Well, I guess we just did stuff that we're supposed to be doing. built a catio.
Nice.
You ever heard of a catio?
No, I suspected something for cats so that they can go outside but not really be outside.
Yes, so we built that and it goes to my office, so they'll be able to come in and out of my office here.
Oh, that's funny. How big is the catio?
It's pretty decent. It's got 2 sides, with like a upper, a lower, and then it has a middle. We'll see. Not sure. We put her, it was really to give Molly just kind of a break from the kitten crazy, but they play together well. And I thought maybe she'd want to be outside. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see. I don't know.
Good. Sounds good.
See. I think she wants to be outside playing with the dogs.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Little thing.
And that's not happening.
No, it's not. It's not the best thing for the cat, to be honest.
So we'll see. May not be exactly what I was expecting, but I don't know.
Hopefully it'll be good. So
I've become that crazy cat lady. But today's topic is actually something I get asked a lot. Trying, especially when people are like newer to real estate, how to maximize their exposure, trying to get business without having to spend a ton of money until, they get some closings under the belt. So I thought it was a great topic.
It's a great topic. It's funny because I was at a Father's Day thing yesterday and John's sister was asking me about, real estate and isn't it scary if you're not going to get a paycheck for a few months, and has that ever happened to me, and what do you do to make sure you are always getting a paycheck? So it was funny that this is our topic today because that's what I was talking about over the weekend.
But it is always ironic when that happens, right?
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, so really this is it. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get started. All the tools that you need are available. You just have to tap into your old skill set and the skill sets of those around you. I mean, the biggest thing, and this is what I was telling Amber, is you need to work your sphere. You can pay for leads, but if it's not in the budget, then working your network and connecting with community, it provides you so much business as long as you're making those connections with people, and there's no cost to that.
Right. And it's really, it's just pulling in the people who already know, like, and trust you versus the unknown that every other large company is going after those online leads. And I mean, I've seen a huge difference with online leads. Just in the last 10 years, we've run pay-per-click and stuff like that. And I mean, it's what, like a 0.5%. And then it's, you're talking 2 years out.
Yes.
So, I mean, really tapping into the people and the stuff that you're passionate about is always my number one. If you do have a sphere, I love the first app for, at minimum, getting your contacts in there, letting it try to fill the blanks with all this artificial intelligence, exporting, and then, call it a day. But you're really going to get out of it whatever you put into it. And that's with any system, CRM, anything like that. But I remember when I first got my license, and of course, social media wasn't, I don't even think we had online. We did not. Yeah, gosh, that doesn't even seem like that long ago. I mean, it was getting out the phone book and literally just kind of going through the names of anyone I had gone to school with, that I had worked with, and just because that's how you would get the address and the phone number. And there was no email back then. So that, I mean, it literally was just sitting there on floor, going through a regular phone book, just letting names trigger. And I would just have like a little notepad, and just as I would see names, oh yeah, and just going through.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, having social media would have made that 1,000 times easier. But I mean, we didn't even have online then.
Right. I mean, imagine how people did business in the olden days. It was door knocking, it was phone calling, it was postcards. It's funny. I had a meeting with a younger agent the other day, and he's definitely like a new school kid. He's talking about video and content and his YouTube channel. But what he also said to me, which I thought was really interesting, and we kind of talked about it for a little bit, is he's big on the postcards too, though. And he goes, I know that's old school, and it seems like I wouldn't be into it. He goes, but and I've said this many times, the postcards, if people will hang on to it, if it catches their eye enough, so they'll get the postcard and they may hang on to it for 6 months, and then when it comes time,
crazy.
they pull it out of the drawer or off of the refrigerator or something. So that's an old school way of doing it, but when you get a listing, are you sending postcards to the whole neighborhood? You're not expecting that you're going to get a buyer for the house that you listed necessarily, but you're letting all those people know that you're an agent and what you're doing with that house. And as they watch, the progression, because, the neighbors are generally nosy. They watch how much activity is going on at the house when it's listed. They're going to notice, and they're going to see whether they think you're a good agent based on the activity that they've seen. So if they have your postcard, just listed, under contract, just closed, that you've hit them now with 3 times, and they're going to pay attention. They do,
And it's the consistency. So especially if it's an area you farm, I would send monthly postcards. Every quarter would basically be what's, sold in the area, just so that they would know in that subdivision. And it's just the consistency, and I like the postcards because it's not something they have to open, because I know for me, by the time I get to the mailbox, I pass my garbage can, all the crap goes in there, doesn't even make it in the house. The postcard, though, it's that visual.
Yeah.
Oh, Heather's still in real estate. Kerry's still in real estate. It's that consistency and like brand awareness. It's that top of mind.
Exactly.
So even if, they're always looking, and yes, the nosy neighbor syndrome. So it's, they're always wanting to know what's going, oh, so-and-so is moving. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you get into those, like the HOAs and stuff. I mean, it can it's super nosy craziness, but
right.
But it's the consistency. It's the constantly seeing a postcard with your information, because you know what, when they, when they're friends, when they're having people over, when there's an event like the big garage sale or something like that, or even at HOA meetings, if you're consistent about that, you're top of mind.
Yeah.
Oh, so-and-so's looking to sell. Who do we have? Well, I'm always seeing, so-and-so's postcards. Like, she knows a lot about the neighborhood. So just that consistency, and it's very costly, especially if you do the every door direct for your farming area.
Cost effective, you mean?
What'd I say?
Costly.
Cost effective. I love the every door direct mailings. They're larger. and you can really just, just basically goes into all the residents for a particular mailing route. And if
Exactly.
you have a larger farming area, that, definitely look into that. And there are a lot of companies. I know for us, like Saving Safari would basically do it all. Like,
Yeah.
here's a mock-up of the design. They'll do the design, and then they sort everything, and they just do everything for you versus us having to do it manually, finding, I remember that was kind of like a nightmare with getting it professionally printed. And
Right.
I know we had like color issues if they, I don't know, if they sent it off or, stuff like that. But there's a lot of companies that will do that for you at such a fraction of the time it's going to take for you to do that yourself.
Yeah,
But
for sure, for sure. I mean, even within the Remax system, if you go through Megaphone, they'll have the postcard already prepared, and you just click it, and then you can have options of where to send it. But if you have something more personalized, you can still use the same system. I can't remember the mailer company that I use,
Express Copy, then there's
Yeah.
Quantum. I mean, there's so many companies out there that will have the mailing list of a subdivision versus you go into the tax records and,
Right. Right. So
downloading. And
I mean, out of all the things we're going to talk about, that's probably the most expensive thing, but that's still not that expensive if you do it correctly. And like you said, consistency. The same thing with working your sphere. You have to do it with consistency. We always say, find that thing that you like. For me, when my kids were younger, when your kids were younger, we were involved in their activities and sports, and we were always the team moms, which now means you get to email all of these people. Now, I wasn't emailing them with real estate stuff, but my email says exactly who I am, and so they call me now, even, it'll be years, and they'll say, "Oh, do you remember me from Boy Scouts?" But they saw the impression of my name over and over again. So between Boy Scouts, and then I would do an ad at the elementary school for the drive-through loop, they would see my name over and over again. And then
me, it was, I didn't sell real estate, but I would get referrals all day long. I loved it. And that's just because I had my swag. I had my
yeah,
cups. I had my hats. I had my shirts. So, I mean, it was just branded that way. And of course, always buying the banners at the stadiums and stuff like that, and sponsoring, which is so minimal compared to it's, usually at the high schools. And it's just getting that exposure at such a fraction of the
the
cost
cost. Yeah, for
of
sure, for
what it
sure.
would be for online leads. Why not do something that you're passionate about? It's something that they see you at over and over again. And, for me, cheerleading, football, baseball, all of that fun stuff at the high school level, it's still just kind of like the brand awareness, just top
Right.
of mind. And that's all. I mean, you can't ask for anything else.
Right. I know. And I'm not huge on the t-shirts or the stuff, because I'm not a t-shirt wearer. But I always think, oh, I need to get into more of that. I need to find a t-shirt I like, and then I'll get
Boy
multiple.
Scouts way different than sitting in 150-degree weather on a blacktop watching football and cheerleading.
Right. Right. So I need to tap into that and find the t-shirts that I like. But or your name tag. Always wear your name tag. I mean, I have some friends who I never see them without their name tag. I mean, we'll be at lunch. Clearly, I know who they are. They don't need to have their name tag on. But now you've hit the server, you've hit the bus boy. I probably don't call them bus boys anymore, bussers, I think. But you know what I'm saying? The person at the, what do they call that when you walk in? The person that seats you.
Hostess.
Hostess.
Host. I'm not sure.
I don't know what they call that. I'm sure there's a politically correct word for it. But with your name tag on, they're not looking at your name, they're looking at what you do, and they're seeing, in our case, the Remax balloon, which is so recognizable. Yeah. So
It's crazy when they do that, because I know there's one in particular, and we'd always go to lunch together. I can't think of one time we went out to lunch and there was not a conversation with another table about real estate because she was wearing the name badge.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so, I mean, for me, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about real estate. I don't want to wear my name badge, but it gets you business. I mean, I will say, for those of you listening, it does get a little exhausting sometimes that we're always kind of on, you're always ready to chat about real estate and ready to, I mean, here I was at a Father's Day thing, and I was chatting about real estate, but I love to chat about for the most part. Sometimes when I'm decompressing, not so much, but most of us that are doing it and doing it well, we're passionate about it. So we do always want to talk about it. So why not? Whether it's your name tag or your logo shirt or a baseball cap. Um, I always wear a Remax baseball cap to the beach or out on the boat. That starts a conversation, and
Yeah.
that's free. I mean, it's the cost of the swag. It's the cost of your cup. I mean, this was a gift, but it's the cost of your name badge, which sometimes you even get them for free. So that's awesome. Here's another one. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and talk to everybody you know. Talk to everybody you know about real estate. I remember when I first I took a couple years off when Ian was a baby and right after Gavin was born, and then I got back into it. Um, and I sent out announcement cards. I mean, that's so old school. I sent out announcement cards, and literally that morning that my card hit my friend's mailbox, it was Bruce and Cindy Angelhow, who've been two of my biggest supporters since then. They literally picked up the phone, and she's like, "My brother and his wife are here. They're looking for a house. They were going to call the guy down the street off the sign, but we got your card, and we're calling you." And then I ended up selling them a house. That was my first house, right, when I was back in real estate, all from the cost of a mailing. It was cards that I think the office gave me, and then I sent them out with my business card in it. And but pick up the phone, let everybody know, especially if you're new. Pick up the phone and call all your friends. Hey, did you know I just got my real estate license? And then here's another part. Education. Keep educating yourself, especially when you're new, when you have time on your hands. So when you're having the conversation with people, hey, I just got into real estate, and I'm constantly educating myself. I know I'm new, but I'm learning. If you have a sponsor or someone who's helping you, let them know so that they're not wary of using you because you are new. I have a sponsor who's helping me through the first few transactions. I'm taking education classes so that I can further my education. Talk about that with them.
And that really isn't just for a new one. It's the constantly, even as a seasoned agent, going to these events to network with other agents. I mean, they become your biggest advocates and referral partners just
Yep.
by going to different events. And we see that all the time on social. Sometimes it seems like somebody, has like a cheerleading group, but a lot of times it's because they go to all these events to learn, to take that time for themselves to what's new in the industry. What can I change? I mean, because it is always evolving. I mean, that's one of the
Yep.
greatest things I love about real estate is it's not stagnant. It's not the same. It's not boring because the market's constantly changing. So there's
Yes.
always opportunities for us to learn from
Right.
the best of the best in the network. And that's, why I love going to different events.
And there's tons of free events, but there's events that cost money, but that money honestly is well worth it. I mean, the networking that you do. I mean, I'm doing a deal with an agent from Georgia that I met at the BOC with her mother and sister here in town. I wouldn't have had that opportunity had I not met Kat, right? So
Right, right. No, but that's where, to me, like, there's so much magic in that. And some people, it costs too much to go to the event. And I feel we always take away way more than
yeah,
whatever it cost for us to go to the event because of the relationships we're building. And everyone has different ways of doing their business. And it's,
right,
and everybody loves to share. And we just can, instead of reinventing the wheel, take what they're doing because they're sharing it, rearrange it, tweak it so it matches what would, meet our needs, and
right,
then go with it. And
right.
my gosh, the things that we've been able to bring back for the office or on an agent level is just, it's completely worth all of these events and what we take away from them. So
For
definitely make sure, and as newer, to go take all of those classes at the board, do that, post education, whatever, get that out of the way, learn as much as you possibly can while you have that time.
Yes,
Uh,
for
A
sure.
hundred
Well,
percent.
and I mean, even if you volunteer at your local board, I mean, everybody knows that I volunteer at my local board, which means that I go to other things. I go to Florida Realtors events. I go to National Association of Realtor events. And I'll be honest, for years I was like, what do I want to go meet other agents for? Duh. I want to meet them so that when they have somebody coming here, they can, well, they'll remember me and send me that referral. When they have a friend, family member, customer, client, whatever it is, I've met them at an event and they're going to remember me, hopefully, because we're going to stay in touch, and they're going to call me when it's time for that person to buy or sell. Sometimes they know people that are living here that are ready to sell. I mean, that's happened to me a few times as well. So you get double duty. You're volunteering for the industry that you hopefully love. You're getting educated and you're getting referrals.
And I know someone actually at this year's R4 got 3 referrals right then and there while
Wow.
at the convention for
Wow.
because other agents weren't answering the call or anything like that. And then, oh my gosh, like I've been trying to find an agent in your area, and that happened. So she got 3 referrals during those couple days at the
Wow.
convention, people
That's
looking for
awesome.
her
Or
market.
make
So
sure, and also that makes me think of something else. Make sure like your Google profiles are all set up so that I got a referral recently from an agent in Virginia, not with Remax. She Googled, I guess Googled, I don't know what she Googled, to be honest with you. I do know this is funny story. So I do know that she called another agent first and the other agent didn't call her back. And she told me who the other agent is. And I know the other agent well. And I was shocked that this agent didn't call her back. And so I was the next person on the list. She called me, whatever, whatever. Okay. So now fast forward, I'm at a training at Prestige Title 2 weeks ago. And that agent was sitting next to me at the training. And she started telling the story. She looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God, you're going to remember this story because you got the referral." And she said, I was having an issue with my phone and I never got the message. And then she called me like or I don't know if she didn't get it or it showed up like a day later or something like that. And she goes, "But when I called the other agent, she said, 'You're too late. I've already referred it to Kerry Ramage.'" And this other, I'll tell you who it is when we get on. When this other agent said to her, "Oh, well, at least you got a good agent because I know Carrie well and I know she'll take good care of your guy." And but yeah, it was a glitch with her messaging is what happened. So she called the girl back like a day later. Oh my gosh, too funny though. But that came from Google, and it was an agent in Virginia.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, definitely calling people back, answering the phone, even if it's another agent. Uh,
Yes.
I mean, that is always, I
But
mean, it blows my mind
I
how
will
often I hear that though.
I will say though, on the flip side, I've gotten calls from agents. I have a referral call me back. I've called them back within 15 minutes and they were already on to the next, which I always find that interesting as well, because here's the thing. If I was at a listing appointment, if I was with buyers, I'm not going to answer the phone because I'm giving my time to those people. So, wouldn't you, as an agent that's going to refer, want that type of agent to handle your referral?
We're
Right?
just in like that
It's
instant
just gotta have it now,
world.
gotta have it now, gotta have it now. And it's like, so what I try to do if I'm referring out is call somebody, I give them usually like an hour. And then if I don't hear back from them in an hour, I mean, I could have been in a closing and I wouldn't have answered the message, you
It,
know? So,
I mean, it's crazy, but I think it's because we're so used to agents just not answering the phone, just not replying, not doing anything. It's one of the biggest things I hear. And I mean, I just heard that here with an agent who was looking for another agent and like waiting for someone just to call her back,
yeah,
and I mean, it's just sad when it takes a day. So don't do that.
yeah.
I mean, I know we're busy, but well, I mean, unless you're too busy to take on, then I guess don't do that.
Right, right,
But if
right.
you're
So,
newer and looking
there's
for
a good,
cheap ways, just that whole phone thing, like pick it up, answer it.
I
I
know.
mean,
I mean, there's definitely a balance to it because like I said, when you're with people, you don't want to be answering the phone because that's rude. You should be giving the people you're with the time, but you also want the referral, you know? So,
it's
yeah,
hard because I know when we go to lunch, it's like everybody's on their phone. It's like the nonstop, and I could never do that.
Yeah.
Like, I am not a phone person. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm on social on my phone, but I don't answer calls. Like,
Right.
hopefully you text me or set up an appointment because I hate talking on the phone. So I could never do what you do just for that.
I honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it either. So, like, what things like my sister's like, let's chat. Look, I chat all day. I don't want to chat.
Nope, I do my one FaceTime with my sister weekly, but that's uh,
Yep.
if I can avoid the phone at all costs, I do because it's to me it's just bleh, like this nonstop of ridiculousness. Like, let's just get to the point and be done with it, right? I know that sounds horrible. I'm
Yeah.
horrible. I'm a
So,
horrible person.
and then the other thing, kind of the last tip we have is put in the time to have your day organized, and know the value of developing relationships, and make sure you have time set aside to do that.
And that's huge because, when you're newer, it's almost like, okay, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
So if you develop those skills and time management, and for me, it's the power hour, and when you want to focus on this or that, or if your office, offers like floor time or something, utilize that time to the
Yeah.
maximum and just really like, that's where the business planning really can help you focus on all these systems and tools to organize and make yourself better
Yep.
because as you get busy, we lose sight of that.
Yes.
So if
Yeah.
you develop those good skills from right off the get-go and
Yes.
just making sure that you put in that hour a day towards your business and organizing things and having systems and tools that will help you work smarter, not harder, it's only going to help you in the long run as you start getting those clients. And you will have to add on to that time management because now you're having to manage deals and multiple deals, and it's only going to get busier
Yep.
as you move along. So for me, it's definitely that time management can be, I mean, ask any seasoned agents like that. I mean, it has to be, otherwise you're all over the place and you're going to have horrible, things are going to fall through the loops. It's going to be a bad customer experience, and
Yes.
there goes your referral and your advocate and your cheerleader for what you're doing. So put
Exactly.
systems in place and make a business plan for yourself, organize it, work your way backwards. um, and
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
crucial, the time management.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So
So, so
what's our weekly activity?
So make cultivating peaceful relationships. I like that. Peaceful relationships a priority this week. Reach out to those people that you haven't seen in a long time and make a plan to reconnect. And it's funny, you all know my mother passed away last month, and you start to reconnect almost with people you haven't seen in a while, people who either read about it because I did a post on Facebook or in the newspaper, and it's weird. It's been a great opportunity to reconnect with people that I haven't spoken to in years.
I
So
bet. I mean,
yeah,
which is in a sad way.
right. And I don't want to. I was like, as I'm saying this, I'm like, oh God, it sounds like I'm capitalizing on this. That's not what I mean. But it's been a nice way to reconnect with people in my life that I hadn't been in contact with.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Words of wisdom, and I thought this was appropriate for, it just seems like you put on the news and it's like the sky is falling, and it's not, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, Incredible change happens in your life when you decide to take control of what you do have power over instead of craving control over what you don't.
There
I
you
thought that
go.
was
That's great.
I thought that was appropriate.
Steve Maraboli. I don't know who that is, but I like that.
Yeah, and I just felt that was appropriate because I watched the news and I'm just like, I don't know, like they put such a spin on things that I'm like, not really. Yeah, I don't know. Seems crazy, but with all of the crazy news, I know next week we have a great session. Brian Buffini has all these upcoming classes. He's had some great podcasts, so we're going to kind of go over some of his recent podcasts and blogs over you can do with your business right now. So I look forward to that. So until next week, wake up, kick ass, and repeat. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
guys.